Sir, after po ng extension niya, pwede na siyang umupo as Bucor Chief?
Yeah, what I said, I will extend his tour of duty to something like 2 to 3 months. Once the projects are in place or operational or functional, then he goes to the Bucor. Bucor, mas malawak rin yan kasi marami tayong problema sa mga penal colonies and other places of the, not really detention, but prisoners convicted by final judgments of serving sentence.
Sir, last question on my part. May napili na po ba kayong kapalit ni General De La Rosa?
Wala pa. I leave it to the... I usually do not interfere. I don't know if they have the sort of an entity within the PNP na tasked with reviewing seniors officers promotion. So parang Board of Generals ng balik ninyo yung original. Alain mo itong pulis, anong ranggo ng SPO4? What is the equivalent of that in the Army? How about you? Kasi itong pulis, pati ako pag-isa SPO1, what's so special about special police? Kaya sabi ko, ibalik ninyo yung police private first class, police corporal, police. Bakit po? Hanggang ngayon, hinahanap ko yung general na nag-invento niyan. Gusto ko kausapin. You know, the fun of changing pati yung mga logo. Minsan, minsan bagong chief of office, nakaganon sila pula po. Tapos pagbagong chief PC nun, dito na naman yung sundang nila pula po. Meron naman dito na taga niya yung sarili niyang paa. Those changes are really very unnecessary. We just add to the expense of the ordinary man, soldier or policeman. That's just to stop. That's just to stop. Yung ano lang, at least during my time, walang, kung ano yung naabutan ko, yun na yun. It's not really in the insignias or uniform. It's how you deliver the message to the soldiers. How you inspire them to work and to endure. And they have a good record sa and the Army can testify to that, the armed forces, of their crucial role sa marami. Mukhang lusot na yung we are awaiting word, but sabi ko sa Congress, talagang increases nila must be implemented next year. Commitment ko yan.
Sir, good evening. I'm Shona Yupo. Just would like to ask you about the Tingbaksha controversy. There are cases of death already. What are you going to do about it?
I am not an expert, and I do not assume that those deaths are already automatically connected with the side toxic effects of, unless there is an investigation. And the person whom we are trying to attribute the responsibility is given the chance to be heard and to air their findings in public. Total, mayroon naman tayong another set of experts who say that it is good. Ito naman ang manufacturers, it's a reputable company in the world of drug manufacturing. Yun. So I do not think that they will be ready to destroy a billion-dollar business just for one lousy. If there is a failure, let them sort it out. an independent investigation, Congress would do it. If they care to listen to the experts who are available here in the Philippines today. If not, they can always commission another body to come up with an independent study. Pero kung sabihin mo lang may nangamatay nung sa vaccination, yung silingan ko doon sa Davao namatay, hindi man siya na-injectionan. Maski konti.
Sir, the program was continuously implemented by then Secretary Pauline Ubial, and apparently she said na napilitan siyang i-continue because of pressure.
Look, if I were the president and there's a vaccine that was already paid for, and the studies show, according to the clinical studies of that company, I, as president, ako rin, sabihin ko, you implement it. If it would save lives. But ignorante man sila, there was also another follow-up study based on clinical studies that found the flaws, the errors maybe. But at that time, if they were implementing pati ako sa Davao, nagtatanong ako, is there really such a thing as a vaccine? Because maraming anak ko, yung si Sebastian, malapit na disgrasya yan. You know, taking for granted, he was always out of the city, surfing, gano'n. Then suddenly, he was already almost naglalak na ang kaya kamukha mo parang mamatay ako sa ospital. Totoo yan. So, he was confined sa Davao Doc with a dengue. You know, I have 10 grandchildren. My God, I would, if there's anything that can save the lives of any one of them, or any Filipino for that matter, considering my position, I will order the implementation. Unless there is a study or a counter statement to the efficacy and the danger of the drug. Wala akong choice pagka meron at marami nang namatay, and there's a vaccine, and wala namang akong advice na wag yan, or the advice was not proper, I cannot blame anybody. I'm not prepared to condemn anybody there. Simply because binili nga natin yun, kung mahal na, yung presyo wala sa akin. And any amount that could save the Filipino, lalo na ang mga bata. Yung anak ko, Sebastian, is about 2 taon na yan. 28 something. Tinamaan eh. Kung matamaan ako, okay na sana. It is really something which is preventive. But yung sabi nila, the second infection would give you a far more worse condition. Wala pa naman talaga akong sabi, maski sa amin, sa Davao, wala pa naman ang barangay captain, sir, maraming patay doon after the bomb. Not as yet. So, I'm not prepared to pass judgment. I can only inquire and hope that everything will give us the truth, because anything here in this planet requires truth. The first instance na sabihin mo na ang totoo para wala ka ng problema.
Hi, sir.
And even Garin, I'm not sinabi, kaya nga atin binili yun because they believe, alam mo mga ano dyan, it's good faith. If you really think in good faith that you are doing the right thing, nobody can question you except your conscience.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, Maricel Halili po from TV5. Sir, some lawmakers are concerned doon po sa paggawa na basis sa NPA sa declaration of martial law in Mindanao, because they are saying that NPA is all over the country. So the extension of martial law in Mindanao may lead to a nationwide declaration of martial law. What are the chances po of nationwide declaration, sir?
Let me give you a lecture on Mindanao. We are facing so many fronts. The biggest manufacturers of shabu are based in Mindanao. So much so that the police alone acting cannot raid the shabu laboratories. They are owned by the mayors, owned by the Maote. So they have to call in the armed forces of the Philippines. Oh, what happened? What was the flashpoint there sa Marawi? Di ba yung mga police nag-grade to serve a warrant? And as a result, or as a consequence of the punitive police action, there was a shootout. So what happened? Hindi kaya ng police. So the Marines went in. Ano nangyari? From what to was a very simple exercise of serving a warrant, or a search warrant for that matter, it turned out to be a bloody day for us. And I remember going to the airport to be there when the bodies were airlifted doon sa kampo, Villamor. No, ganun kalaki. Droga lang yan, ha? Now, we have terrorism. Ang base nila is Marawi, Mindanao. Maguindanao is, at this moment, I'm sure there is a fighting every day. So I'm losing about, on the average, 3 to 7 soldiers and policemen a day. Diyan sa Maguindanao, bakbakan. At you can call your friends there in the military and they would say there's an engagement somewhere. So meron dyan. It is really an existing one. It is violence being spearheaded by the NPAs and itong mga quest for independence, the raw sector of the MI and MN. Now we are talking not really desperately, but there is a need for me to come up with something. Otherwise, Mindanao will blow apart. Why? Because if the MI and MN would declare war and said they're going to revolt, then Mindanao would be opened to all sorts of criminals. And you know, in a war or trouble, your enemy is my friend. So yung nawalaan ngayon ng base, wala silang rason magipag-away because they lost the piece of real estate na hinawakan nila. There's no more landmass to hang on. Magta-travel ng Southeast Asia yan. And remember that they are terrorists. So if you have the terrorists and you have the guys who do not believe that the Philippine government could ever solve the problem, which is territorial, I hope it would not result in a religious conflict. It is not now, but tapos yung droga. How many enemies do you have there? And it's scattered everywhere. In Hulo, they are still continuing with their business of kidnapping people. We are known for that, and it has put to shame our country. Kasi pag hindi nakabayad, I said, niluluglog nila, decapitated in front of the world. So that's when the vicious cycle of criminality. Then the Maote, then you have the remnants of the terrorists. Hindi masyado dito. That is why Mindanao remains to be, I said, powder keg or a flashpoint for trouble.
Meaning, sir, no plans for declaring martial law nationwide, only in Mindanao?
Well, it is up to the enemies of the state. If sabi ng NPA that they are recruiting in mass numbers and they create trouble and they are armed and about to destroy government, ang gobyerno will not wait until the dying days of its existence. The government can always preempt and prevent that disaster. To what extent, what level of atrocities or attacks, it is not for me to say that. It is for the armed forces and the police.
Sir, last na lang po. Some critics are saying that yung declaration po, extension ng martial law is unconstitutional because there is no actual rebellion in Mindanao. Maybe have your thoughts, sir.
Bilangin mo ka kung ilan yung namatay doon. Wag na yung bilangin mo kung ilang namatay yung araw na ito. All over Mindanao. Ambos ang pulis ko araw-araw, ambos ang sundalo ko. There is actually rebellion in Mindanao. It is, when I say it's ongoing, the fighting is going on. That is what is meant by ongoing. It is happening. Ano ba naman ang klaseng interpretation ng ongoing? There is actually, I said of late, kasi with impunity na itong mga komunista, patayin yung mga inosente, yung ayaw ng mga yung lumad, ayaw sumunod doon sa lumad na recruit nila, pinapatay. And 2/3 of the lumads are constitute the membership of the NPA, the armed force of the Communist Party. I will not wait until they are about to slit our throat.
Good evening, sir.
Baski nagsasharpin ka na lang, tapos sabihin sa'yo, ito ano ba yung haek? Tagalog, hinasa ako ito para sa liig mo. Bakit mo pa hintayin niya? The existence of our democracy is not it's not the comments of the opposition or of those who are against me politically. Unfortunately, kasali nag-merge. I will not wait for that day on its 25th hour for the